Welcome again to another episode of the Sealess Villains Podcast, your cultivators of the comic culture. I'm your host, AJ, and tonight we've got Red. Luke should be joining us later. E-Man could not make it tonight, but you've got the both of us right now.
Yeah, Luke's on the he's on a roll right now as far as like his live sales, so he's got to cash in on that.
He's got to make that money, baby.
That store's not gonna run itself.
Yep.
Until it gets an assistant, then it'll be all perfect.
Yeah.
So if you're in the Portland area, and are interested in working part time with Mr. Luke Weeks, go ahead and sign up. Then you'll get interviewed by Mrs. Weeks because she wants to make sure that she hires a male.
Wow.
Females are good too, but just want to make sure that it's good fit for Mr. Weeks.
All right. Well, before we start the show, we just want to remind our listeners and watchers to make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you hit that notification bell so you know anytime we put up new videos, all right?
Oh, and leave us a review on iTunes. It's nice to get those and read those, and it'll get us rated a little bit better. And every time we find a comic book podcast on iTunes that we want to hit that top 10.
Yeah, for sure. Tonight's topic, actually, it's going to be a red show tonight. Red-centric. He is the only person who watched Black Widow, at least that I know of in our group. So he's going to be doing a Black Widow review. He's going to give us his experience of going to the theater post-COVID. And he's got a little story about how someone thought he was a lesbian. So
yes.
First, Red, tell us your overall review of the movie, what you liked, what you didn't like. And you know what? Fuck it. It's going to be spoilers. So if you haven't watched Black Widow yet, I would maybe refrain from watching this episode. But Red, go ahead.
It's going to be a spoilerific episode as well. Going to the theater, I wasn't really expecting much, but I figure it's going to be a really female empowerment kind of deal on the movie, just like what they try to achieve at the end of Endgame, and also with Wonder Woman 84 and Wonder Woman. We kind of start off, we're just a few days after Captain America Civil War, and and Natasha is on the run from who's the current it's not Agent Ross, but it's the main guy that
Thunderbolt, not Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah, Thunderbolt Ross. Yeah, that guy. He's hunting her down. That way he can arrest her because of the damages done to the airport in Germany. Also, we get a little background story on how she grew up. We see her family being chased down by the federales for the federal government because apparently they were spies from Russia. And later on in the movie, we find out that they were never a family to begin with. They were assigned to each other. And when they came back into the fold of the Russian government, the girls, which is Natasha and Yelena, got split up and sent to the Red Room.
Okay. Before you do that, Luke, thanks for coming on, man.
He looks
I like the new setup, brother.
Yes, thanks for
that is nice.
Sorry for the delay.
You had a hustle, we heard, or Red had told us. But that is a nice setup.
It's
man.
been
I'm thinking that
like that all weekend. Plus it's kind of hot yesterday, so he had the fan blowing, and then
woo, yeah.
At least he's making those sales.
Yeah. Wait, you don't have AC in that room you're in?
We Portland does not do AC. Only 20% of Portland.
Oh, okay. That's
AC.
right. I think you mentioned that before. Yeah.
So we don't do AC up here because really it doesn't get hot that often. So.
Right.
But when it does.
Yeah, when it does, then look out.
You get sweaty.
Red was just giving us his review. All spoilers on the Black Widow movie, since he's the only one that watched it.
I'm
well,
surprised.
Hey, we did say we weren't going to watch it, though. I mean, AJ and I did get fair warning.
Yeah, I missed out on that episode. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You weren't on it. You weren't on it.
No, it wasn't. That wasn't that little issue going on.
All right, continue, sir.
Oh yeah. So where was I? Then we kind of see Natasha going on a little adventure, still trying to get away from Agent Ross, and we find her in not Poland, but some kind of European country, and she finds out she had mail back in her what was that country that her and Hawkeye used to talk about? Budapest.
Okay.
So she had mail from Budapest. Then one of her handlers had taken it to her, and then ended up that in the mail was a box of serum. I forgot about the part where Yelena, before that scene, Yelena was fighting off other Black Widows because she got exposed to that serum and then completely wiped her memory of the training from the Black Widow program, and then she's back to her normal self. And so she stole it and sent it to Natasha. Now back to Natasha.
So it's a memory wipe serum?
It's more like a mind control
kind
of deal. Just wipes the ability for anyone to command her. And then now we see Natasha with the serum, and she goes off to go find out that was her sister. But before she takes off to Budapest, she gets attacked by Taskmaster.
Okay.
I mean, you see Taskmaster, it looks pretty badass. I mean, has the not the comic book accurate suit, but it's still pretty good looking. We still haven't figured out the identity of the Taskmaster at that point. Taskmaster tries to kill her, and she ends up getting away via jumping off the bridge. And next scene later, she's in Budapest meeting up with her sister. Should I just give you the rest of the rundown and not just spoil the rest?
Just give us a 2-minute rest of the thing, and then your overall review of the movie. Good, bad.
After that, Elena and Natasha make amends, go meet their parents, break Red Guardian out of jail, meet her mother or fake mother, and then they hatch up a plan to go stop the Red Room and whoever guy running it, and they fight him, kill him, and then find out the identity of the Taskmaster, which is the boss's daughter, because it was one of the people that Natasha supposed to kill before she ended up defecting the shield.
Right.
And then so they win. There's a bunch of Black Widows on the world that are trying to go cure with this gas or this chemical, the one that Yelena was exposed to, and that's how the movie ended. Up until to a point where at the first post-credit scene, we see Natasha, how she got the Quinjet.
Okay.
The Quinjet, which they end up using to break out the rest of the Avengers out of the raft.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. And then the second... Go ahead. What's up?
No, go ahead.
Then the second post-credit scene, we see 5 years later, Yelena at Natasha's grave, which confirms that she is dead.
Oh.
And...
That's heartbreaking.
It is. But Yelena is also met with by this person who is from Falcon and Winter Soldier.
And it's Julia Louis-Dreyfus' character, right?
Exactly, her. And she gives her next target, the person responsible for Natasha's death, Hawkeye.
Or so that's what she thinks. But
what she thinks.
Yeah.
But
shut up.
So Hawkeye is now the target for Yelena, which will probably play into Hawkeye series.
Okay.
See this
Now, go ahead, Luke.
it kind of makes me upset that they did that. Only because it's such. I mean, just stop. You know what I mean? It's like, and for your next target, it will be your best friend.
Yeah.
Like, just stop. Like, we all know you're not going to kill Hawkeye or even fight Hawkeye or, like, for real. It's going to be this fake out fight. And then, like, and now we must be best friends.
Yeah,
Right.
but she never met Hawkeye in Budapest because she was still training under the Red Room. So she has no idea what actually happened between her and Natasha and Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Right.
So she
Now,
just sickened the dog on the Hawkeye, on the Clint Barton.
do you think is this, I guess, the proverbial nail in the coffin for Scarlett Johansson? Is she done?
Yes. Yeah, completely done. Completely done. Most likely because she wants to move on, and the fact that Ryan Reynolds is getting into the MCU, I don't think she wants to work with her ex-husband at all.
True. That's true. It kind of syncs up perfectly. Even if she did want to, Marvel could be like, well, you know, we've got Ryan coming on, and he doesn't want to work with you, so your contract is up, and we're going to make a lot of money with Ryan. So
yeah, and then Yelena's a good replacement. She has more comedic points to her acting. So
is she not as dark? And
not as dark. Not as dark.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
I am done with ScarJo's portrayal. I was done with it on Endgame. Endgame, she was just trying to be so, and granted, warranted seriousness, but I was really done with the portrayal.
Yeah, they did show that during the scenes where they were the little flashbacks where they were kids, showing that Natasha was the more serious older sister, while Yelena was the playful baby sister.
Right, right.
When was this filmed? Do we know when this was filmed?
2019, because it was supposed to be released last May. I would think it was also same time as Falcon and Winter Soldier, since they were also in Europe filming at the same time.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I have a theory that this would have been the biggest movie of 2020 if they would have done an at-home release on the original quarantine date. I think it would have made $1 billion.
Possibly.
I think everyone in the country would have rented it. It was the only thing. Huge mistake waiting 14 months to release this. Massive. Whoever made that decision should be fired immediately.
That was Feige. They couldn't fight over Feige.
Awful decision on his part. He should have. I mean, it cost the company probably $800 million.
I haven't seen the returns yet on the weekend numbers. Did you?
I can't imagine it being a lot, to tell you the truth.
I think it's at $80 million.
Well,
is the number I saw. 80 million was.
Granted that most of the theaters are still like below 100 capacity, and people are still afraid that they're of COVID.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Exactly. They should have released it May 2020. Everyone, I would have rented it. I would have paid $30. I would have paid $50. I would have paid $100 for it. There was nothing else going on.
Wow, that would have that's worth the pay-per-view for like boxes.
People were getting that PPE money, the
Paycheck Protection Program, or the
the pandemic relief. Totally.
Pandemic relief. Yeah. They would have spent that money on that, baby.
Yeah, right. They only got one check that year. It wasn't until November that they got the second check.
Who knows? People were getting a little crazy with their money spending.
Yeah, right. That thing went fast.
But Red, how did you feel going to the movie theaters post-COVID? Since you're the guinea pig in this group.
Yeah, right now it's actually pretty comfortable. I mean, I've been vaccinated, so I still walked around with a mask. But it's you know, people are getting really comfortable out there, not wearing masks and being, you know, not social distancing and stuff. But if you're confident in your health and the people around you, I think it's gonna be okay. But if you still kind of have that paranoia where, you know, there's just because there's so many variants out there still, that you should still, you know, wear your mask, wear that protection, social distance.
Did you go with a big group?
No, I went solo.
Okay, so but what about other people like around you?
Oh yeah, it was basically 2019, early 2020 again. It just, you know, everybody's out to have a good time and enjoy the day. Plus, it's being 110 degrees outside. People wanted to be in the theater to get some of that air conditioning.
Right.
Shoot, I picked the seat furthest from everybody, and by the time like showtime came up, you know, those other seats around me got filled because, you know, the last minute people who bought tickets finally decided to come in.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I still, you know, every time I wasn't eating popcorn, wear the mask.
Now, out of a comic book rating scale, what would you give it?
9.2.
9.2. Well, it's pretty good.
9.2. I didn't go there. I didn't go there with a lot of expectations. I just wanted to see a movie for the first time in 18 months. I don't know. How long has it been? It's been a long time.
It's been at least a year and a half, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, that, you know, I couldn't watch Demon Slayer in the theater, so it was like I figured this was the next best thing because it's a Marvel movie, and I was really excited to see something with post-credit scenes and sit all the way through.
Totally.
So it was nice. It was nice, and maybe I'm being generous with the scoring just because it's the first movie I've seen this year. But the overall story was good. Action was better. Fighting sequences were off the chain, especially they were fighting in midair. from some kind of it was a destroyed base from the Red Room, and all these pieces were falling down into the ground. And Taskmaster versus Black Widow just jumping from piece to piece. I was like, wow, that's some great stunt work there.
Now, did Taskmaster die at this, or like can she come back?
Oh, she didn't die.
Okay.
She didn't die. She got reprogrammed. They gave her the serum or the whatever that the chemical was to at least get her back to normal, sort of.
Oh, so then that iteration of Taskmaster is erased then?
Well, not erased. She still has a training, but I figure this is gonna open up to a Taskmaster program, so she won't be the last.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So we could see the comic book accurate Taskmaster in the future then.
Right.
Oh, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, because this one was the first iteration, and the way that they explained it was she would watch videos in order to learn everybody's moves. So she spent from her inception into her first fight scene with Natasha learning all the Avengers moves.
Okay.
But that's not even the point of Taskmaster.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not.
Any martial art, any like high level martial artist or fighter or military person could learn move. That's not the Taskmaster learns in the second. So while he's fighting, he's learning the moves, and he's, you know what I mean? That's where it's just like,
is the original Taskmaster mutant?
I don't believe so. No, I think he's just a very high level warrior.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, and there's no power to his stuff. He just knew how to fight and shoot.
Okay.
You would think he's like Deadpool, but without the mutant powers.
Right. Well, Red, you've also got a little story that I saw you post on a couple group chats too.
Oh yeah.
You care to talk about that story while you're at the theaters?
Sure. Yeah. Well, you know, being a hot day, I figured it's well, my dog barks, but I was gonna wear just regular t-shirt and gym shorts and sneakers and such, and that's like the typical guy wear where when you go out to somewhere place you still need to be comfortable, right?
Right.
And just t-shirts and shorts. Well, fuck, I'm hanging out, getting before at the gate, like at the entry of the theater, and then eating popcorn, and this Filipino lady starts speaking to me in another dialect, which I'm one dialect versus the other, but I knew she was Filipino because of the dialect, but she started talking to me, like asking me questions on whatever she was asking, but she probably thought I was somebody else, and then and then a minute later, her daughter calls her like, "Mom, I'm right here."
No!
I was like, okay. I looked at the daughter, I was like, oh shit, she looks like me. Wait, she's butch looking lesbian though. so the mom looked embarrassed, looks at me like, oh, I'm sorry. Goes up to her daughter and starts talking to her again, asking the same question.
So obviously your back was to this lady, right?
No. She walked right in front of me asking, she was looking down. But assuming because her daughter is like, my same build, I'm a big dude, kind of chunky and big bone, and she too, and she also had the spike haircut and the same, almost the same outfit as I was wearing, so t-shirt, shorts, and sneakers, except I had the hat and the beard. And so this lady was like, I actually thought I was her daughter, which was the butch lesbian next to me.
Now, did you guys talk afterwards?
No, we didn't. She just looked embarrassed. It was like, okay.
Yeah, she would probably be pretty embarrassed.
Yeah, but all I noticed is that nothing. I love lesbians. I got gay friends and all that stuff in the LGBTQ community, but I think that these women borrow their brother's clothes and sport the same look that I sport.
Oh, they're buying their own clothes, Red. Come on.
Oh, they could be, but I'm wearing the lesbian's uniform on the weekend. That's what I'm trying to say.
You're rocking the lesbian.
I'm rocking the lesbian's uniform.
See, you need to buy a Subaru Outback now, and you'll be set.
Exactly, I should do that. That was the card I wanted to get anyway.
Is that the go-to for lesbians, the Subaru Outback?
I guess.
Oh yeah, Subaru is totally.
No, well, Sammy has one. Our boy Sam Pemberton. Yeah, he's got a Subaru Outback, but he's not a lesbian.
No, hey, I'm just saying, lesbians know how to pick out a solid.
Yeah, they know a fun car, and it's a great sport utility vehicle right there.
Hey, yeah, it is. Hey, my sister's gay, so I don't care. Do whatever you want to do.
But does she rock the shirt and the shorts like she's going to go play basketball?
Oh yeah, totally. Her and her wife do. Oh yeah, that's standard streetwear. Of course.
Tomboy clothing right there for butch lesbians, man. That's like, okay, cool. Now that I'm gonna be a little bit mindful of what I'm gonna wear outside, just to make sure that I don't get mistaken for lesbian again.
Hey man, it was just a weird situation we're in. Great story for us to hear, though. I mean,
yeah, I've been mistaken for Mexican, Chinese, Samoan, and or whatever else. At least non-Asian kind of race, but never mistaken for a woman, nor a lesbian until Saturday.
Yeah,
that's a first.
That's
quite a story, man. Quite a story.
Hey, you're welcome, America. You're welcome.
Luke, how was your weekend, sir?
Oh, my weekend. Let's see. What did I do on my weekend? I honestly can't even remember 24 hours ago right now.
You went to a church, bluegrass and barbecue yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's right. Thank you, Red. My mother-in-law bought tickets to a bluegrass concert at a church And I did not want to go to this event, but my wife was like, honey, we have to go. My mom bought us tickets. I was like, all right, I'll go. And I went, and honestly, it was pretty fun. There was a lot of nice people, and there was a barbecue there, and it was fun.
Nice. Now I gotta ask you, man. This is the new. Is this going to be the new? I guess whenever we podcast, this is your office. Then I'm assuming.
This is, yeah. Dude, check this out. This is a pretty sweet setup. I bought. My wife gave me this idea: PVC gutters from Home Depot.
Okay.
To display books on, and it works really nicely, I think.
Yeah, they're so rigid. They're like a quarter of an inch thick, and all you do is just cut them in half or in thirds.
Yeah.
You should be able to handle at least a little bit up into enough to attach to the studs.
Yeah. Well, I just bought those. I bought those like wall anchors that I screwed through into the drywall, and it works great.
Well, as long as you're not putting more than 10 pounds on there, then yeah, definitely it'll hold. No problem.
So I'm pretty excited about it. And then a nice sign I had made, and then I could do all my sales sitting down now, and it's
yeah, that is nice, man. I like that setup, man.
Can't wait for the first episode of Pressable Defects by Luke Reese.
I know, yeah, Red came up with a pretty awesome name for it.
Wait, I've heard of pressable defects before, though.
It's just you coined that term.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a term for when you get the defects out of a book, you press out the defects, and you say, "Oh, these are pressable defects."
Yeah. Okay. But is it there? No, I thought I saw an IG like name of that.
But better lock it in. Better lock that in.
Luke, did you happen to get our books by any chance?
No, yeah, I'm a little nervous. I was supposed to get them Friday, and I've not got them. So, yeah, they should have been here last Friday.
Oh man, I was hoping we'd be able to show those off, but that's okay.
I know. Yeah. Beyond the Breach. It's coming out Wednesday. I think it's something we'll have to just talk about and say, was it more like was it more our taste versus the country's taste in comics? So,
no, I think it's less help from publisher putting out that title.
Yeah, because if anyone's watching Beyond the Breach, none of the other shops picked this book up. Bunny Mask was one I did a test on. I thought Bunny Mask was going to be like this. I thought I was going to get maybe 10 orders, and every shop did Bunny Mask. I think there's 30 variants for Bunny Mask.
And yeah,
only one other shop did. I think Hive Comics did Beyond the Breach, and then us, and no one else jumped on it, and I'm kind of shocked to be honest.
Sometimes we roll that dice, and we either come out snake eyes or we get 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't wait to see them. I can't wait to see how it turns out live. I'm sure it's going to look amazing when we have it on our hands.
I forgot. So you guys talked about Loki last Thursday?
Oh yeah, you missed the episode. So why don't you give us a rundown of what you thought about the last episode?
That shit blew me away with Crocodile Loki. That shit was funny. And Alioth, I'm really excited to see what's on the other side of Alioth after they charm him, or what's the word?
Enchant.
Thank you. Yeah, I want to see what's going on with that. And then the breakout performances by older Loki.
Wow. Wow.
Great performance by that guy.
Thank you, Legion. That does mean a lot, of course.
Oh, we've got a question from Legion. Who do you guys think is the castle at the end? My guess is another Loki. I think that's a solid bet right there. That's a solid guess.
No, we always made this assumption that we're gonna get the Lokiest Loki of them all. Just like we got the Rickus Rick in Rick and Morty, we'll get the Lokiest Loki.
Yeah. Hey, we called the Suns too. You know, a month and a half ago, mid-May, we called the Suns winning the final. So
we're that. We're Game 3.
Game 3's tomorrow, I believe. Yeah. You know what? Speaking of sports, I kind of want Milwaukee to win it though.
Why?
I want Chris Paul to win this more than Giannis or Giannis. I think Chris Paul needs that ring to solidify his legacy. Giannis has another 10 years.
Yeah,
Chris Paul has like another 2.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think he's kind of he's not kind of, he is a dirty player. So a lot of people don't really like him. You know, he deserves it. People root for him because he's been so good for so long, right?
Yeah, and he's been bounced around the league for the last 15 seasons.
Yeah.
Who's the dirtiest player is freaking James Harden, man. You've seen him go up to the basket and, no one's 10 feet around him. He still takes a foul.
Okay, a flopper and a dirty player is different, though.
They're all dirty players on the floppers.
Yeah, it's a new era of flopdom.
Yeah, but they are going to change the rules though next year.
They better call if you flop, that's an offensive foul or defensive, whatever it's going to be. But if you flop, that's a foul on you. That should definitely be a foul.
What up, Hood Rat?
What up, Hood Rat?
What did Mark put up another question? I missed it.
Yeah, Legion. He's thinking it's going to be Loki the whole time or Enchantress. One thing, though, that people are kind of forgetting is the Ravonna factor. And Ravonna, throughout comics, is always tied to Kang. She's like Gamora to Thanos is Ravonna to Kang. It's the same exact thing. So people are saying it's Doom. No, Doom would make zero sense. The only 2 options right now are Kang or another Loki. I think it's going to be another Loki, but if it was Kang and they introduced Jonathan Majors into the universe, I would be stoked because Jonathan Majors had a great year last year with the series Lovecraft Country
on HBO. Yeah,
that was a killer series, killer sci-fi series, and he got cast to be Kang last year. Why did he get cast to be Kang? Maybe he's in Loki, the last episode of Loki. So,
do you think he'll play into Doctor Strange movie? Because we're all dealing with magic and universe and the multiverse, Plus with what do you call it? With Vision and Wanda,
Scarlet,
they're supposed to also end up.
I know, and at the end of Scarlet, we thought we were going to see Doctor, or we thought we were going to see Mephisto. We saw Scarlet, and we were just like, oh, heavy eye roll. And I agree, Legion. I don't think we're going to see Kang. They've never upstaged any of their characters. I have a theory. Disney will never put a character bigger than the title character into the show, and that's held true so far. Now we're three deep. I think it's going to be another Loki. That'll be a little bit of a letdown for me, but Scarlet,
WandaVision.
Yeah, WandaVision was a letdown. The ending was like a major letdown. Like, oh man.
Now I had read somewhere that they were going to put Strange in, but because of all the fan theories and everything, they decided to take it out. I don't know how true that is.
Well, that's like Game of Thrones. That's what D&D did with Game of Thrones, right? Like Jon Snow was supposed to be, Aegon Targaryen to sit on the Iron Throne and come in on a dragon with Daenerys, and they ended up sending him back to the wall. And it was like, what? They're like, well, that was the obvious choice, so we had to subvert. All these executives think they have to subvert, or it's sometimes the most obvious choice is the best choice. It's the right choice. You know what I mean? It's like if you're gonna make a peanut butter and jelly, you're not like, here, my 5-year-old daughter, I made you a peanut butter and jelly. I also put a sardine in the middle of it and enjoy eating it because I wanted to subvert your expectations.
And that's the thing with a lot of these guys who doing these shows.
I have to try that.
It's okay if the fan theories are correct. It's not like you have to be like, okay, they got the ending correct, or they know what we're gonna do, so we've got to completely change it. Like, no, it's fine if half of the viewers' theories is correct. There's nothing wrong with that. If anything, that could be a great sign of what that you're following and listening to what the viewers want to see.
Yes, and it's showing people are invested into your product. Game of Thrones was the number one thing of cutting out the fan theories and going their own way and completely ruining a franchise. People don't even care about Game of Thrones now. It went from literally the number one talked about entertainment enterprise worldwide to now just being nothing. They also lost out on a Star Wars contract because of how they ended it.
They lost that contract?
Not George R.R. Martin's fault, right? It's the writers for that.
The executive producer,
the showrunners.
D&D, yeah. David Benioff, and it was a massive failure on their part to subvert. And of course, Star Wars Episode 8. That's another. I wanted to subvert fan expectations. Stop. I eat a peanut butter and jelly every single day. I have for almost my entire life. I like it. It's good. It doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? I like what I like. I eat other things too, but I eat bread with peanut butter and jelly at least one time throughout the day since I was 5 years old. That's just kind of my weird quirk.
Yeah, just give the fans what they like. Give them the peanut butter and jelly, and don't
give
put
us
sardines
the peanut
in
butter
it.
and jelly. Don't put the sardine in the middle of it. Actually, I should say don't put the red herring in the middle of it.
I didn't know that they lost their Star Wars contract.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were booted or dropped out from it or whatever it was. But...
Well, they were set to write the Mandalorian, and then that's why Jon Favreau took over.
No, they were gonna do from what I understood, it's gonna be literally Game of Thrones, but Star Wars.
No.
Yeah, it was gonna be a full new start. They were gonna run the whole Star Wars thing, and after the ending of season 8, about 3 months later, it was quietly announced that they were no longer attached to it. And that just means Disney was like, nope.
Yep. Bad season, bad writing. We don't want anything to do with you. Well, after the episode 8 for Star Wars 2 is horrible. So.
Have they talked about the next Star Wars trilogy?
No, they haven't.
Okay. There's actually a very tiny rumor that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are going to do a new trilogy.
I'm okay with that.
Pitch me. I think I just, am I dreaming? That would literally, I would die and go to heaven if those two did a.
If they do, in my personal opinion, they've got to go set it thousands of years in the future.
No, they're going to go with the Mandalorian War.
But that was in the past, though, right? So
you can go back to the past. Maybe you get to see a young Yoda.
But they kind of talked. They already did a little bit of that in the cartoon, though.
But that's a pretty good sourse. That's a pretty good source.
It is.
I don't think you have to go thousands of years. I think you can go. I think you could go right after, Rey buries the lightsaber. But then just kind of erase it. I mean, you really have to feel bad about the characters in episode 8. They just did them so dirty.
where Finn's supposed to be a Jedi, Rose is supposed to have a bigger.
Yeah, Rose.
role.
It just I loved that character when they first introduced her. When she like hit him and she was all like tough, I was like, this is awesome. And then they made her just into like this sappy, whiny. I love you. Like
I know they made her into a Jar Jar Binks.
Yes, it was just They should have just kept her as like a badass fighter. You know, I don't know.
But I think people want to see Darth Revan and the other, Sith Lords pre-Palpatine.
Darth Revan, Savage Opress, all those guys. Yeah, all those guys. We're not going to get any more Darth Maul. Darth Maul was actually, I saw an interview, Darth Maul was supposed to be the big baddie of the sequels.
Really?
He was supposed to be 789, the big baddie. And then it didn't happen, but if we get more Dathomirians, I would be very excited. I like that race.
I wonder if it's because they killed. I'm trying to think, because they killed them off in the cartoons, but I don't remember if that happened before the last trilogy.
No, he came back on Rebels. He was on Rebels.
No, but he died. He died. They showed what's his name?
Obi-Wan
Yeah. Obi-Wan kills him. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he has a brother.
Yeah. I mean, I do feel it's a little unfortunate that they didn't get to maximize him in the in like any sort of real life.
Well, movie. Yeah, he's the one that got the Boba Fett treatment, or he's the cool guy in the corner, with a few pretty dope action sequences, and all of a sudden, kill him off. There were just so much upside to Darth Maul, and then Lucas just didn't want to make him the focus of the next part of the trilogy.
So we got the what's the older guy? Was it Dooku?
Yeah, Dooku.
Yeah, they should have just kept Maul and.
Yeah, Dooku, and then we had Grievous, General Grievous.
Oh, Grievous, that's right, Grievous.
Yeah, Grievous was just some poor excuse.
Maul was literally the face of Episode 1. He was the Phantom Menace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like he was the face of that whole franchise, and they chopped him in half. I think they could have still kept him alive in some weird. I think he could have probably went into a forced meditation. Shut down his extremities, you know what I mean, and maybe survived.
Yeah, I think that's how they explained it. His return on was it not Rebels, but before that, Clone Wars, where we do get to see him with metal legs.
Yeah. Well, he had the spider legs, then they gave him the metal legs.
Oh, the spider legs were great. Oh my god.
But yeah, I mean, what was I gonna?
It's just a waste of good character development for a first movie and then just throw him away like that.
And I remember when they had the trailer and he pulls out the dual lightsaber.
Yeah. No one saw that before. No one saw that,
yeah.
Dual
the
lightsaber.
Whole theater cheered.
Yeah.
The whole theater. I remember seeing it in some random movie. It might have been like Frodo's movie. What was that? Frodo. Lord of the Rings? Or
no, it was before that. It was before that. I think it was. I remember seeing The Mummy 2 when the trailer came out.
Yeah, whatever it was. I remember being in there because I was dating the German ballerina at the time, and it was her and I and these two other just odd Bay Area people, which I guess I was kind of myself. But we all cheered. It was like this massive cheer. The whole theater erupted. I was high-fiving people.
Yeah, when you have the Duel of the Fates soundtrack during that whole little fight scene for that trailer, that made everybody hype.
Yeah.
That got you excited to see Star Wars again. Like, holy shit, there's a new Star Wars for this generation.
It's funny you guys talk about that too.
What was the whole movie built around going to see it? Like the fanboy going to see the... Was it called
that's
Fanboy?
Right. It was called Fanboy,
yeah, Fanboy.
And
it's
the
story of the guy that was on his deathbed, cancer, and then what do you call it? They were trying to convince George Lucas to show the movie
That was
just
a
for
good
him.
movie. I liked that movie.
It's funny you guys talk about it because it was on TNT like a few days ago, and
What?
I'll still watch
Phantom
it.
Menace or Fanboy?
Phantom Menace,
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
And I'll still watch it when I catch it. You know.
No, I actually rewatched it over the pandemic, and it actually held up pretty well. I actually was like, this kind of holds up better. Now the second one doesn't hold up very well, but the first one holds up. 1 and 3 hold up pretty good.
Yeah.
2 was the weird one, right? Where the romance thing, right?
Yeah, but I would still watch 2 just to get to the end where you get all those Jedis versus all those androids.
Oh, and that's when you get Yoda doing his
Yoda.
flips. Flipping Yoda, Samurai Yoda, or whatever you want to call it.
Ninja Yoda.
Ninja Yoda, yeah.
Because I was like, that was the only time that you got to see Yoda fight, though, up until the next movie where he fought Palpatine.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was quite exciting, especially for us in that age. And I know you bought all the toys.
Still have them, man. I still have them. Yeah, I mean, oh my God, I have so many Darth. Well, no, not too many Darth Mauls, but I really thought that was going to be the
big one.
Yeah.
See, I remember. Tell me your story, then I'll tell you my story about it.
I remember once we found out that there's like on the back of the barcode, there's like a .001, like a first edition. We would all look for that one.
Yeah.
At Toys R Us, we lined up for that.
You cleaned out Toys R Us because of that.
We cleaned out Toys R Us. Now, see, I skipped the 1 through 3 toy wave. That was right after kind of 9/11, wasn't it? Like 2000, 2001, 2002.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was still in college.
Oh yeah, so was I. I didn't have any money right after college. Oh my God, I was so broke.
I didn't care. I was still figuring out ways to like get a couple of those. But now, like, you go to like any major like collectible store, and they got them literally for the same price same price, $5. Yeah.
And maybe even a little cheaper now.
Yeah.
They were like $6 back then. Now they're $5.
Yeah, someone wanted to unload their collection. They're gathering dust.
Oh, yep.
You know, speaking of, since we're going off of different tangents here, did you guys see that Legend of Zelda sealed game that was graded?
Well, I saw the Mario 64 one, but I've been seeing a bunch of them come out lately that are going for over $1 million.
Mario 64, yeah, that one came. That went 1.6, or am I wrong on that?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right in the ballpark.
Oh my God!
My only thought to that, AJ and Red, is it's got to be money laundering. That's my only thought to that. There's no money laundering, and art has been a huge thing since art has been around. It's very commonly known. I mean, Joe Biden's son is in a huge scandal right now about it.
Really?
Where his art is selling for $1 million a piece. You know what I mean? He's getting from these like random businessmen in Asia. They're worth $1 million a piece, right?
It's like why you wanted to get an almost perfect package of an unopened video game where you can actually just buy the cartridge and then go play that. Like, what are you gonna do with it?
Well,
it's a collectible. Now.
It's a collectible, but what it is, it's so messed up because
it's sealed too. It's sealed.
You form an LLC. You have the LLC buy it, but then you can funnel. It's like just a full. You write it off in taxes. because there's no limit. Like the government can't say like, well, it's not worth that much. Well, it sold for that much. So that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just this crazy money laundering enterprise.
Maybe we're in the wrong business. We should start doing that.
But that's what's happening to comics now. Comics and cards and games and I don't know.
No wonder we're being outbought.
It might be legit, but it might not be.
Another thing I saw, I was watching someone on YouTube today. They were stating that there's also not a consensus. Like, you know how with comic books, there's at least like a census that can somewhat track the sale of graded books, right? There isn't anything like that for graded games.
Not yet.
Not yet. But the thing is, people, the guy who I was watching, I forgot his name, but he was stating that it could be they don't want a census out there because if there's more 9/8 video games, then that could lead to that game devaluing. So if there's no census, and you don't know how many are out there, and you don't know how many are being sold for, like, let's say 10K, but all you hear about is the one being sold for 1.2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you would have to go dig through Toys R Us's old stock for games that are still sealed in the box and unopened. Because most of the stuff that didn't get sold usually just goes to secondhand stores or goes to the dump.
I don't think by this time there isn't anything from previous generations that are sealed.
Yeah, we grew up poor, right? So if your parents bought you a video game, you're gonna open it and fucking play it, dude.
Yeah.
There's no way that you're gonna just sit there and just look at the box like, yeah, I bought that. 20 years from now, that's gonna be worth something. I ain't gonna play it.
You know what though? There were plenty of guys back then buying video games like we buy comics now. You know, they'll buy three of the video games.
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, plus, like, I'm sure that, like, let's say if someone was to raid Toys R Us, Kmart, Walmart, whenever the new system came out, I'm sure all the previous games from the old system were discounted.
Yes. They definitely were.
Yeah. Legion of Comics wants to know if we watched the new Long Halloween movie, essentially the Batman animated. I did not watch it yet, but we'll probably watch it and maybe give our thoughts on it on the next episode.
Is that available on HBO Plus or HBO Max?
I don't know if it's available yet on HBO Max.
All right. Hey, you can't go wrong with DC animated films. You can get they go wrong on DC Universe films. DC animated films are flawless.
Yeah. I don't know why they can't do the same thing with their live action.
Why don't they have the animated writers write for the? I mean, the writing's better in the animated.
Exactly. I mean, I think who was it that did the Batman animated? Was it Bruce Timm?
Bruce Timm, yeah.
People have always wondered how come they just never gave him the keys, a la Kevin Feige. You know.
I don't know. Batman Samurai was pretty good.
It was. That was a good anime, actually.
Quite impressed with that one.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, I think it's about time to wrap up the show, guys. E-Man, or E-Man's not even on here. Luke or Red, anything you guys want to throw out before we end the night?
Look up for Beyond the Breach. We're going to start selling those on the website through Luke's RKFA Comics. And be sure to watch what you're wearing out there and see if you get mistaken for to be somebody's Filipino lesbian daughter too.
Yeah, and watch Loki early this week. Watch it and then come talk Thursday. Come talk Loki finale with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to pick somebody out of like the crowd and just have them join us on the StreamYard just to talk. You want to do that? If not, we can do it on a future episode.
Maybe a future episode if we.
Yeah, we'll pull Legion into it.
Yeah.
Legion wants to talk.
Yeah, We definitely want to do some team ups eventually.
Yeah. We'll get 5G. We'll get Wolfhawk.
I love it. Yeah, I'll have to pay him.
We'll get him on.
I have to pay him.
Yeah. Their time is money, you know.
Pay those guys. Those guys are valuable commodities.
MVPs in my book.
MVP, that's right, baby.
Well, again, everyone, thanks for watching our show. Make sure you subscribe to all our streaming services. Make sure you go to RKFA Comics, buy some comic books on Luke's website. He's also got that Facebook group. Follow us on our Instagrams. I'm AJ the Comic Collector. You can follow Luke at Luke Weeks, Red, C-List Villainous Red. And
maybe I'll change that handle to like C-List Lesbian Red.
or that too, yeah.
Maybe later. But yeah, Buddy Match is still available. Be on the Beach is going to be soon. Buy the books.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. See ya.
Good night.
Thanks again for listening to another episode of the C-List Villains Podcast, your cultivators of the comic culture. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and email us at clistvillains@gmail.com. You can also leave us a voicemail or text us at 209-975-7597. Be sure to join Luke Week's Facebook group, Rare Keys and First Appearance Comics. And you can follow us on our 2 Instagram accounts, C-List Villains and C-List Villains Podcast. Lastly, follow the villains on their separate IG accounts, at Luke Weeks, at C-List Villainous Red, at C-List E-Man, and I am at AJ the Comic Collector. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you all next episode.